The stars above Earth shimmered like cold diamonds. Floating in orbit was a massive alien ship, silver, silent, and shaped like a crown. It didn't send a warning. It didn't ask permission. It simply appeared. Inside the ship, Princess Trex of Zephyria stared at Earth through a glowing screen. She was tall, with silver blue skin, glowing eyes, and a proud smile. Her voice was calm, but her words were sharp. So ... This is the planet where creatures scream while giving birth. She asked, amused. Behind her, 2 Zephyrian guards stood. Still, they didn't dare laugh, but they wanted to. Everyone in the galaxy had heard the stories. Humans were emotional, weak, messy. Especially when it came to reproduction. Princess Trexa was here on a diplomatic mission, but she didn't take it seriously. In truth, she came to observe, learn, and maybe laugh a little. Aboard Earth space station, humans were preparing for her arrival. The station was clean, but small compared to Zephyrian standards. Dr. Marcus Rain, Earth's lead xenobiologist, adjusted his lab coat and looked at the airlock with a serious face. "She's not just a guest," he said. To his assistant, "She's royalty and trouble." The airlock hissed. The temperature dropped. The metal doors opened slowly. Trexa entered like she owned the place. Her steps were smooth, almost floating. Her gown shimmered with alien symbols. Her eyes scanned the room, and her lip curled. "So ... This is your science center?" she said, charming, like a child's toy. Dr. Rain extended a hand. "Welcome to Earth's orbital lab, Princess. We hope your visit will be..." She walked past him. Yes. Peace, cooperation, mutual respect. Let's get to the funny part." Rain raised an eyebrow. "Funny?" Trexa turned and pointed at a display on the wall. It showed a 3D model of the human body. "Your reproductive system," she said. "I've been studying it. So inefficient. So painful. Your females suffer for hours, sometimes days, just to push a baby out. We call that ... a design flaw." A few scientists looked uncomfortable. Rain stayed calm. "Some would call it sacrifice," he said. "Others call it love." Trexa laughed. "Oh, please. You bond over pain. It's adorable. On Zephyria, reproduction is clean, quick, and emotionless. No screaming, no crying. No mess." She walked over to the table and picked up a small device, a human DNA scanner. She activated it and scanned her own hand. "Even our DNA is better," she said. "Stronger, faster, superior in every way." The scanner beeped. Rain walked over and glanced at the screen. His eyes narrowed. "That's odd," he said. "What is?" she asked. "There's a minor anomaly in your cell structure." He sighed. "Probably just a glitch. Our scanners aren't used to your species." Trexa waved it off. "Your machines can't understand me. Don't worry, doctor. I'm in perfect condition." But something inside her chest felt strange. Back on her ship that night, Trexa stood alone in her private chamber. Her fingers touched the window as she stared at the blue planet below. So small, so simple, so ... Emotional ... and yet, she placed a hand on her stomach. Light pressure, just for a second." She shook her head. "Probably something I ate." A soft hum came from her wrist communicator. It was her ship's AI. "Your vitals have changed," the AI said. Heart rate slightly elevated, hormone levels unstable. Trexa frowned. "Maybe Earth's air has some effect." The AI paused. "Do you wish to return to the ship's healing chamber?" "No," she said firmly. "I'm not fragile like humans." She turned off the screen and went to bed. The next morning, she felt tired. Her skin looked dull. She ignored it. At the lab, she watched a video of a human birth. Screaming, crying, blood. She smirked. What a disaster. Rain watched her quietly. "You mock what you don't understand." "I understand perfectly," she said. "It's primitive." He walked closer holding a tablet. Still, Princess. If something were happening inside you, would you tell me? She looked at him, eyes glowing. Are you threatening me, human? Rain didn't flinch. No, I'm warning you. Trexa turned and left. Her fingers trembled slightly, but she hid it well. That night she couldn't sleep. There was a warmth in her chest, a heartbeat, but not hers. Something was growing. She whispered to herself, "This can't be happening." But it was. Something inside her was changing, something human. A strange dream. She was running through a forest of glass, trees sharp as blades, stars falling from the sky like broken diamonds. Something was chasing her. But when she turned around, there was nothing. Just a soft heartbeat. Not hers. Princess Trexa opened her eyes. For the first time in years, she had sweated. Zephyrians didn't sweat. Her silver skin felt warm. Her pulse too fast. Her senses too sharp. The lights in her chamber seemed too bright. Every sound too loud. And worst of all, her chest still held that strange pressure. She stood up quickly, but the floor tilted beneath her feet. "Computer," she said, holding her head. "Report vitals." The eye responded immediately, calm and cold. Heart rate elevated. Blood pressure fluctuating. Hormonal imbalance detected. You are advised to enter medical stasis. "No," she snapped. "I'm fine." She walked to the mirror. Her reflection stared back. Tall, regal, flawless. And yet, something was off. Her eyes. They looked tired. Humans get tired. Not her, but she wasn't ready to admit anything yet. At the Earth station, Dr. Marcus Rain sat alone in the observation room, watching live footage from the Zephyrian ship's internal scanners. He wasn't supposed to have access. But Earth's defense protocols didn't take chances, especially not with alien royals acting strange. He saw her pacing, checking herself, talking to her AI, looking nervous. Rain leaned back, whispered to himself, The great princess is cracking. By noon, Trexa returned to the lab, pretending nothing was wrong. She wore a darker robe today, with her hair tied tight, a sign of formality, but also maybe insecurity. "You look pale," Rain said casually. She narrowed her glowing eyes. "You look old," he smiled. "Fair enough." They continued the tour, walking past various biology chambers, human embryos, organs, stem cells. She walked faster when the section on human pregnancy came up. Rain noticed. He tapped a screen and brought up a slow-motion animation. The human fertilization process. Cells multiplying, life forming. A heartbeat flickering in the dark. Trexa glanced at it, tried to look bored. But her stomach growled. Loudly. Rain blinked. "Hungry?" "No," she said too quickly. "Your gravity is unstable. It affects digestion," Rain chuckled. "Sure." A few moments later, she was standing near the snack dispenser, reading every label, slowly, as if she was studying them. As if she didn't know why she was craving chocolate-covered almonds. She ate 7. In silence. Zephyrians don't eat Earth food. Zephyrians don't get cravings. And yet that evening, in her private room, she finally let herself scan her body again. She sat down, activated her wrist medical reader, and ran it across her stomach and chest. The results appeared slowly, flickering, glitching. "Scan incomplete," the device said. Unrecognized biological structures forming. She stared at the screen. Her mouth went dry. Try again. Same result. Her fingers clenched into a fist. Impossible. Then, without thinking, she whispered, "What did you do to me, Earth?" On the other side of the station, Dr. Rain was preparing samples when he received a silent alert. Unauthorized scan detected. Zephyrian genetic shift confirmed. He froze. A message came through from Earth Command. "Watch her closely. She is no longer just a guest. The next day, Princess Trexa didn't leave her ship. She claimed she was meditating. But inside, she was trying everything: meditation chambers, energy resets, immune system boosters. Nothing helped. The pressure in her chest was growing. She was sweating more, craving food more, her emotions harder to control. At one point, she looked at a video of a human mother holding her newborn. She watched it for over 5 minutes, eyes focused, breathing slow. Something in her felt warm, but she shook her head. No, I'm not becoming one of them. Her wrist. I spoke suddenly. Princess, your body is no longer fully Zephyrian. She stood in silence, then whispered, almost to herself, then what am I becoming? There was no sunrise in space, but the lights inside the royal chamber brightened automatically. Princess Trexa didn't open her eyes. She was awake. She had been for hours, lying still, breathing slowly, listening to the sound inside her chest. Not her heartbeat. The other one, the new one, but she refused to name it. She stood and walked to the mirror again. It had become her enemy. Her skin still glowed faintly, but the brightness had changed. A softer tone. Her eyes, slightly rounder. Her cheeks, warmer. She leaned closer, staring hard at herself. I am Zephyrian, she said out loud. Perfect, untouchable. But her voice shook slightly. Her reflection didn't lie. She activated her med scanner one last time. Full body scan. Deep tissue analysis. The results loaded slowly. Her hands trembled. Unrecognized tissue detected. Internal organ forming. Estimated 3% human DNA integration. Estimated time to full internal development, 21 Earth days. She dropped the scanner. No, this isn't real. She backed away as if her own body were a stranger. She hadn't touched any human. No physical contact, no transfer, no crossbreeding event. So how? She paced the room like a trapped animal. Then she remembered the ancient artifact. Back on Earth, 2 days ago, during a tour at the ancient biology vault, she had touched a small relic, an object found under the Arctic ice. Humans didn't know what it was. A broken sphere. No energy. No response, but when she touched it, it had flickered, warmed slightly. Just for a second. She had laughed and walked away. She didn't laugh now that morning. She requested a private meeting with Dr. Marcus Rain. She didn't tell her guards. She didn't tell her AI. The lab was quiet when she arrived. No cameras. No aides. Just the human scientist. Alone. She stood in the doorway for a moment, silent. Rain looked up. You're not looking so alien today, he said softly. She didn't respond. He stepped aside. You want answers? I can help. She walked in, slow, cautious. Sat across from him. Her voice was lower than usual. There is something growing inside me. Rain nodded. I know. You knew? Not at first. But you're not exactly subtle. She didn't argue. He placed a device on the table. A 3D model appeared in the air. A floating structure. Not human, not Zephyrian. A hybrid cell. This came from your last air sample, Rain explained. You're transforming. At the cellular level, your DNA is rewriting itself. Trexa leaned forward, eyes narrowed. Why? I did not agree to this. I did not mate. I did not allow. Rain interrupted. You touched the artifact. That was enough. She looked away. You're saying this is technology? He shook his head. Older, not ours, not yours. Something left behind, maybe a seed, maybe a test. Whatever it was, it chose you. Why me? Rain looked at her, calm, serious. Maybe because you're the last one who would accept it. She stood up fast. Angry now. I am not human. I don't feel your pain. I don't need your connection. We are above you. Not anymore, Rain said. She turned to leave. Princess, he called after her. This isn't an infection. It's a design. She paused, then walked out without another word. Back in her chamber, she finally cried. Zephyrians don't cry, but she did. Quietly, without understanding why, something inside her had changed. And not just the biology. Her thoughts felt different. Memories softer, her dreams more human. The heartbeat inside her no longer felt like a threat. It felt like a whisper, calling her name. Asterisk. The child was dreaming again. Warm, floating, unformed. It did not have eyes, but it could see. It did not have ears, but it could hear. The voice of the one carrying it. Words. Emotions. Confusion, anger, fear, curiosity, and something else, hidden deep beneath. A feeling not born in Zephyrian minds, something called love. Princess Trexa woke up gasping. Her skin was glowing faintly in the dark, not silver now, but mixed with human warmth. A soft blush across her chest. Her body trembled, not from weakness, but from change. She tried to stand, but her knees gave out. Her eye flickered on. Warning. Genetic rewriting now at 42%. Foreign structures stabilizing. Host resistance decreasing. She slammed her fist into the wall. I am not a host. I am not one of them. But her voice cracked. She was scared. And she hated that she was scared. Later that day, she sat in a sealed archive chamber, far from her guards, her AI, even the humans. She needed answers the living couldn't give. So she turned to the dead. The archive was full of ancient records. Zephyrian, human, and a third type. Unnamed, unclassified. Deep in the files, buried beneath security layers, she found the object she had touched. Object 117, a human biopsy discovered by a human dig team beneath frozen Arctic ruins. No known source. No known purpose. Theory. A memory fragment, left behind by something older than both races. She kept reading. One Zephyrian scientist had secretly studied the object. His final note was chilling. It carries a pattern, not infection, not mutation. It seeks compatibility. It wants to continue something that was started long before our species were born. She closed the file, sat in silence, and realized she hadn't been cursed. She'd been chosen. Hours later, she stood on the station's observation deck. Earth floated below, turning slowly. Blue, full of life. She felt the heartbeat again, not hers. Not alien. Something in dash between. Dr. Marcus Rain approached quietly. You look like someone who just read a secret she wasn't supposed to find. She didn't smile. Your artifact isn't human. I know. It's not Zephyrian either. He nodded. There was a race before us, he said. Before your kind, before ours. Builders, designers, maybe gods. We don't know, but they left something behind. She placed a hand on her stomach. And now it's inside me. Rain spoke gently. Maybe not just inside you, maybe through you. She turned to face him. I was born to lead Zephyria. I trained my whole life to rise above emotions, above weakness, above biology. And now I'm becoming something I can't control. You mocked our pain, Rain said quietly. But maybe pain is the only way we grow. She didn't respond, just stood there, watching Earth, watching herself from the inside. And for the first time, she whispered, what if I don't want to go back? Rain stepped closer. Then don't. But I'm not human. You're something new. That night, she sat in her chamber. The lights were low. She placed both hands on her stomach and waited. And for the first time, the heartbeat answered. Her touch. Strong. Alive. Connected. And deep in her mind, she heard a word. Not in human tongue, not Zephyrian, just one word. Welcome. It began with silence, not the peaceful kind. The kind that meant someone was watching. Princess Trexa sat in the center of her chamber, surrounded by nothing. No sound, no light, no communication. Her ship had gone dark. Her AI offline. Her guards missing. Then the voice came. Sharp, cold, royal. You are no longer considered pure. The Council of Zephyria had spoken. A transmission beamed directly into her ship, bypassing Earth systems. A hologram of the High Elder appeared. His face like stone. You carry something inside you. Something unfit for our legacy. Trexa stood slowly. I didn't choose this. You touched the artifact, he said. You allowed it. No one knew what it was. You should have. She looked around. The chamber that once felt like home now felt like a cage. I am still one of you, she said. The Elder's expression didn't change. You were. Not anymore. Earth Station blocked the transmission a few minutes later, but the damage was done. Princess Trexa sat alone. No orders, no power, no ship control. Her people had cut her off. Dr. Marcus Rain found her later in the observation deck, sitting in silence. No crown. No guards. Just her. He walked in slowly. They isolated you. She nodded. They called me impure. Rain sat beside her. You know, humans used to believe children born different were curses. Some still do. She looked at him. Was your species always this cruel? Cruel, he said, but curious. And sometimes kind. She closed her eyes. I spent my whole life training to serve a people who now want to erase me. Rain didn't respond. He just let her speak. I believed perfection and control, cold logic, power over nature, and yet, all it took was one small heartbeat inside me to unravel it all. Later that day, she was given a private chamber on Earth Station. No guards. No orders. No rules. Just a choice. Rain handed her a device, a communicator that could reach the Zephyrian recall fleet. One call, and they would teleport her out. Strip the changes from her body, erase the human code, return her to what she was. But the child would not survive. The transformation would. Everything would return to the way it was. Almost. That night. She held the device in her hand. It glowed. Blue. Steady. Waiting. She looked at it. Then placed her other hand on her stomach. Felt the warmth. Again. Not fear. Not sickness. Life. She stood. Walked to the viewing window and stared down at Earth. Flawed. Beautiful. Messy. And so full of meaning. Hours passed. Then finally, she pressed a button, but not to call Zephyria. She sent a message to Earth Command. 4 words only. I am staying here. Somewhere in deep space, her decision triggered a silent alert. The Zephyrian Council read the message. One whispered, "She has defected." Another said, "She is carrying a weapon." The third, older than the others, leaned forward. "No, not a weapon. Something more dangerous. She's carrying a bridge." Asterisk. It didn't begin with weapons. It began with silence again. But not the kind that waits. This was the kind that hides. Princess Trexa stood at the center of Earth's Biocore lab. Her back was straight, her hands steady, but inside, something pulsed faster than fear. The child. It was ready. Not to be born. To be defended. The air changed. The lights above flickered once. Dr. Rain looked up. Here we go. Then the alarm screamed. Unauthorized breach, level 7. Vessel entering from non-permitted jump vector. Identity, Zephyrian Royal Enforcement. Division. They didn't ask. They didn't knock. They came to take. Earth's defense systems activated. But it was too late. The Zephyrian boarding craft slammed into the station's docking ring like a sword through skin. Metal shrieked. Atmosphere vented. 6 royal guards entered the corridor. Taller, faster, emotionless. Clad in black armor with glowing silver helmets. Target, Princess Trexa, one said. Extraction authorized. Lethal force permitted. Rain grabbed the emergency override and sealed her chamber. You need to run. Trexa shook her head. No more running. You can't fight them alone. I'm not alone, she said quietly, and the moment she said it, the station lights glowed brighter. Her skin shimmered. And for the first time, Her voice echoed, not with fear, but power. They broke through the doors. She faced them. No weapons, no armor, just her. They raised their plasma lances. Do not resist. Princess, you are carrying unstable DNA. Your body will be reset. She stepped forward. I am not unstable. The guards paused. She lifted one hand. The air around her pulsed. A ripple, soft, silent, spread from her body across the chamber. Their scanners shut down. Their weapons overheated. Their minds began to panic. One dropped to his knees. I feel something. Trexa looked into their eyes. You feel what you were trained to ignore. What you were told made us weak. One by one, they backed away. One fired anyway. A bolt of energy struck her and stopped in mid-air. It melted before reaching her skin. Rain watched from the other side of the glass. She's not just evolving, he whispered. She's becoming a shield. Outside, the station trembled. Earth Command prepared to fire on the Zephyrian ship. But Trexa's voice came through first. Broadcast on every channel. Clear. Strong. No crown on her head now. No flag behind her. Just a message. I am not human. I am not Zephyrian. I am what comes after. I was created by a power older than both of us, and I chose to stay, to protect what is growing inside me. She paused. Then added, you may fear me. You may try to erase me. But you cannot stop what's already begun. The boarding team retreated. Her people had seen enough. But the universe had just begun watching. In the quiet that followed, Trexa collapsed to her knees. Rain rushed in and caught her. She looked up, breathing hard. It's starting, she whispered. He touched her shoulder. We need to get you underground. Safe. No, she said, eyes glowing again. We need to go deeper. Somewhere no one else can follow. He nodded. She stood again. And this time, her footsteps didn't echo like royalty. They echoed like revolution. There is no sound in the center of the earth. Only pressure. Darkness. And life beginning again. Deep beneath the earth's crust. Inside a secure vault hidden for centuries, Princess Trexa lay surrounded by ancient machines humming softly. Like a lullaby from a forgotten age. This was not a human place, not a Zephyrian one either. This was neutral ground. A birthing chamber left behind by a race that never returned. And now, it answered only to her. Dr. Marcus Rain stood by her side, monitoring the vitals. But helpless. He had delivered hundreds of human children, but never like this. Never with the air glowing. Never with the walls pulsing in rhythm with the child's heartbeat. Never with the mother whispering words in a language that had no alphabet. Trexa did not scream. She did not panic. But she felt every part of what it meant to bring life into the world. Her hands trembled. Her body shook. And her mind, for the first time, was silent. Not afraid, not proud. Just present. And then it happened. The light in the chamber dimmed, then flared. A warm, golden pulse spread out in every direction. Machines shut down. The air went still, and a new sound entered the world. The first cry of a child not born of any one species, but of two worlds colliding and choosing not to destroy each other. Trexa held the infant close. It had Zephyrian eyes, glowing, focused, but its skin held the warmth of earth. And its heartbeat was not one but two, beating in perfect harmony. She stared into its face and whispered, you were never a mistake. You are a message. Up above, Earth Command watched the energy readings burst across satellites. In Zephyrian space, their council received the signal and froze in silence. The energy signature matched nothing known. Not weapon. Not disease. Not prophecy. Something new. A living code. A broadcast followed, from T single quotes REXA. No makeup. No title. No throne. Just a mother and something more. She spoke simply. You feared what you didn't understand. So did I, but I chose to listen. I chose to stay, and now, something new is here. She held the child in view. It is not a threat. It is not an enemy. It is the future. A future that neither of us owns, but both of us gave. She paused, then ended the message with one sentence. Let the next generation decide what we were. No reply came from Zephyr. Not at first. Then. Finally, one word sent in silence. Understood. Earth named the child Nova. Zephyrians called it the Crosslight. But Truxa called it Hope. And in the shadows of forgotten ruins, deep in the vaults of ancient builders, a machine woke up for the first time in millions of years. Its sensors blinked. Once. Then displayed one phrase on its screen. Hybrid sequence complete. Evolution protocol successful. The universe had taken its next step, not through war, not through conquest, but through the most unlikely act of all, understanding.